Hey everybody, thanks for watching, thanks for checking in, and if you're somewhere where it's warm right now, oh, God bless you. I gotta tell you, this southern weather thing, I know I'm beating a dead horse. It is truly amazing. Someone said, in fact it was in church this morning, the pastor said it reminded her of Chicago. She said, yeah, a warm day in Chicago. So there, some blessings have been found. We're not as cold as Chicago. I do remember one of the old jokes about Chicago, though, was there's only two seasons. You have winter and the 4th of July, if you know what I mean. Here in the South, I'm starting to be reminded, we indeed do have sometimes 4 seasons in 4 days. I mean, a few days ago, we had snow. Then it warmed up. Then I was on the golf course. Then it started raining. And then today, oh my gosh, I don't think it's even hit 30 degrees. And it's cloudy and overcast. And they say it's going to be even colder tomorrow. Which brings about the age-old argument everybody always has. Whenever I mention cold weather, there's always in the comment sections the people going, well, it's better than hot weather because in hot weather you can't take off enough clothes. I'm sorry. All the times I lived in hot weather climates like Bakersfield, California, Phoenix, Arizona, even West Texas, I mean, basically I could wear shorts 365 days a year, or at least I tried to as much as often. And so my clothing budget was definitely lower. That's the thing I'm learning. Your clothing budget, if you're in a place with 4 seasons, well, you got 4 seasons worth of clothes, so it's more expensive. Then you might say, well, but your utility bills are going to be higher in a hot weather climate. Well, not true, because it's not hot 12 months out of the year. Yeah, the bills are kind of high in those hottest months, but the rest of the time not as much. In fact, it's funny, I've been comparing my utility bills in Alabama to what they were in Arizona, and they are running, believe it or not, our overall utility bills are running about 50 to 60% higher when we adjust it on an annual basis. That's been a little bit of a shocker. But still, the cost of housing kind of weighs that out, or evens that out, I guess you might say. Or maybe still it's an advantage. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, it's very, very cold. And the good news is, as I mentioned earlier about you can have 4 seasons in 4 days, we think this will probably be short-lived. It's going to be really, really cold for at least another 2 to 3, 4 days. And then we should start to see an uptick in the temperatures. In fact, I told Nicole, I said, if this follows what typically used to happen in the South, we'll get a real warm spell in February. Then March, we'll get one more cold blast, maybe even some snow. And then we'll start that slowly increase into some warm temperatures. And I got to tell you, I can't wait. Because you see here, see, I had to buy this big old Columbia coat, which I didn't need in Phoenix unless I went to the mountains. But I'd pretty much emptied out the winter wardrobe. So now I've had to add a few things back. But it's still okay. So don't be hating on me about that. In the meantime, too, I wanted to talk about something has to do with the grief journey. And that may be what pulled you into the video as well. I think that was part of the title. At this point, I don't remember what I'm putting in the title. But anyway, Nicole had to work this afternoon and evening. And so I was left by myself for the first time in a long time on a weekend day. You know, and she had to go in on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. So I was left to kind of fend for myself, as they say. And mind you, I got used to being alone after I lost Pam. I mean, I went 4, almost 5 years. And it was hard. It was really hard. Lots of lonesome days, lonesome nights. Just, you know, it's just part of the drill when you become widowed. And single people, divorced people, they all face these moments. And then I know there'll be those of you jumping on the comment line who, you know, you're doing fine, you're doing great, you don't need anybody. And that's fine. That's all well and good. That's not the point here. We're not going to argue about it. But, and I did learn how to, as I mentioned in some of my earlier videos, how to become my own best friend and how to go out and do things alone. Now, it's still, at least in my opinion, in my case, was more fun having somebody with me, but I did learn to do things alone. I traveled, went to restaurants, ball games, did all that stuff. You know that. But it was still hard. It takes a lot more effort than when you've got somebody with you. So this afternoon, I'm like, well, gee, what am I going to do today? The weather's crappy. It'd be a little better if the weather was nice. But I thought, I'm still going to get out. So the first thing I do, I went to the boat show. Yeah, they got a big boat show. Probably the boat dealers were wishing for better weather. Hard to think about boating when it's this cold. But as any of you who have known me, I've been an avid boater ever since I was in junior high. I've always had boats. Don't have one right now, but eventually we might get another one. But I will tell you, not buying a brand new one, oh my gosh, prices are out of sight. I mean, what they're getting for just a small engine, say a 30, 40 horse engine now, is more than I paid for some of our boat motor trailer combos. So I'll probably look used, and I always tell people look used. And then that old saying, people always go, well, your happiest day and your two happiest days of owning a boat are the day you bought it and the day you sell it. Again, I was an oddball. I was always sad whenever we sold one of the boats. We just had good luck with boats. I just always maintained them well, and they provided a lot of entertainment, a lot of relaxation. So I'll be scouring some of the ads probably this spring. If I can find a decent deal on a used one that I think has been maintained well and I can continue to maintain, we'll do it. So anyway, so that's how I spent a little part of the day, is going to the boat show. And again, by myself, it was okay, but you know, it would have been more fun having Nicole tag along. And then I thought, well, shoot, it's a cold day. I'll take a walk in downtown, so I want to get my steps in either way, you know, try and get that 3 or 4 miles walking in. And so I went into one of the local coffee shops, and when I went in there, then I ordered my coffee. I thought, oh, I'll have a little muffin too. And then I sat down, and then I looked around, and I said, oh boy, I remember what this was like from the widowed days. It was filled with just couples and families and everybody happy and talking and all that. And I was alone over the corner of the table. And it reminded me what single alone life was about. And it was a good reminder, because it made me really appreciate what I have now. Now, when I say that though, and I get it, some of you who are widowed especially, that makes you angry. And I understand it. It's like, I don't want to hear about how you found somebody else and you found love again and all's better and happy, because it's never going to be that way for me. I totally get it. Been there, done that, used to say it over and over again. But I guess what I want to say is that on the other side, and a lot of people, you don't need anybody else in your life. You don't want anybody else in your life. Again, I totally get that too. I was there, and I've told you in other videos, I never planned on meeting anybody else. Pam was the love of my life since high school. But things happen. And all I'm saying is, now that I'm on the other side, and once again, I have a partner, I do enjoy life more, for me at least, being a couple again. But again, that doesn't necessarily work for everybody. And then I always have to caution you, don't go out there looking for somebody. It's too hard. It'll drive you nuts. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But sitting in that coffee shop, just looking around, it just reminded me that I'm just the type person, I probably am a little better having somebody in my life. At the same time, you know, hey, being married again, there's challenges. We all know that. But I got to tell you, the good far outweighs any of the negatives, at least in my own personal experience. So overall, life is good. At the same time, I'm learning to really appreciate this life that I have now, because just the way, you know, Nicole and I talk about it. Either one of us could be taken in an instant. We don't know. And of course, a lot of people, if you know us, you've seen us, you're going, well, she'll be the first one to go. Or you'll be the first one to go, because she's considerably younger than you. And that's what I always tell Nicole. I'm like, Nicole, it's a 99% chance I will go before you. And she always corrects me. And she goes, did you think Pam was going to go as soon as she did? And I go, no, I didn't. And you don't know. We really don't know. Each day is a gift. And I think those of us receiving the gift of life on a day-to-day basis, be thankful for that day that you have and make the best of it. Now, of course, there's a lot of people out there in a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, things like that, and they just want to go home. They want to go to their eternal home in heaven, or wherever they may believe it is. I believe it's heaven. But we're not going to get into beliefs and things like that. And that's the thing I always worry about in these videos that I do, is I'm and this has come out in lots of HR assessments of me, is I want to be a people pleaser. It's like I'm almost scared to tell people that I'm happy again, because I don't want to make the people who aren't happy feel bad. It's like I don't want to talk about that I found someone else, because I know there's people who get pissed off that they haven't found anybody else. You know what I mean? It's like anything you say, everybody's not going to be happy about it. But I just wanted to kind of share with you some of my random thoughts that I was having today, from the weather to relationships. It's been an interesting journey. It's far from over. In fact, I was in a discussion group this morning, a church group, small group, if you will, before the actual service. And we were asked to share different things in our life related to the lesson. And I said, one thing that I have to really work on, always remind myself of, is quit putting that foot in the past. Quit thinking about what I could have done differently, or how I might have done this and that. And live in the present, live in the future. Because the leader was saying, you can't plan for the future or look forward to the future if you have one foot planted in the past. So I get it. But sometimes it's tough. Okay. I've gone round and round in circles, I know. And believe it or not, I'm not as cold as I thought I would be, because I'm in a wind-protected area right now. So again, I hope you're in a warm area. And you know what? Here in a couple, 3 months, we'll all be having some nice warm weather. Spring is just around the corner. So thanks for watching again. Also, don't forget, I've got a book, Year One of Grief. It's available on Amazon. Just look for it, Year One of Grief by Jack Church. Free on Kindle Unlimited as well. So keep subscribing, keep thumbs up, keep sharing. Have a great day. Better yet, better tomorrow. And again, don't forget, spring just around the corner. Bye now.